In the ancient age of Homo sapiens, the mystery of tribal alliances quietly unfolds. From the family's warm embrace, the web of time is drawn like threads. Family bonds remain in ancient records. Seeds germinate under scientific reconstruction. From family to tribe, the initial form of mutual aid network appears in the ruins. Tribe boundaries begin to break. Evidence based on ancient genetics. Alliance process starts. The prototype of the super-large mutual aid network appears like a thread of fate in the ancient climatologists' records. The charm of tribal alliances stems from blood ties between families. The time web slowly unfolds. The strength of tribal unity extends to broader communities in scientific reconstruction. Mutual aid tradition takes root and sprouts in early tribes. Archaeological evidence supports its endurance. The formation of the super-large mutual aid network, the time web motif, runs through the entire historical process. The evolution of tribal alliances is based on anthropological research. Family ties turn into bridges. In the scientific reconstruction picture, tribal alliance mutual aid laws quietly awaken. From family subtle care to tribal collective strength, the process is clear in the evidence pile. The key node of the super-large mutual aid network finds answers in ancient climate changes. The charm of tribal alliances stems from the weaving of the time web, scientifically reconstructed for us. Tribal unity plays a role in tribal alliances. Ancient genetics reveals the secrets behind The extension of mutual aid networks, archaeology outlines the grand blueprint of tribal alliances. From family protection to super-large alliance, the time web is shown in scientific reconstruction. The process of tribal alliances is based on a neutral academic perspective. Evidence supports every step of evolution. Scientific reconstruction of tribal alliances, mutual aid laws quietly bloom in ancient records. The ties between tribes take root in tribal alliances. Ancient climatologists provide evidence. The rise of the super-large mutual aid network, the time web motif, runs through the scientific journey. The charm of tribal alliances stems from building bridges from family to tribe. Mutual aid tradition continues in tribal alliances. Archaeological evidence reveals it for us. Under scientific reconstruction, tribal alliances go from family micro to macro alliance. The key process of the super-large mutual aid network slowly unfolds on the basis of evidence. The evolution of tribal alliances is based on the intertwined evidence of anthropology and climatology. Family bonds turn into tribal unity. The time web shines in scientific reconstruction. The mutual aid laws of tribal alliances reveal deep charm in scientific reconstruction. The prototype of the super-large mutual aid network silently forms in ancient genetics. The process of tribal alliances stems from the scientific weaving of the time web motif. Tribal unity plays a core role in tribal alliances. Ancient climatologists give answers. The extension of mutual aid networks. Archaeology draws a grand blueprint for tribal alliances. From family to super-large alliance, the key process of tribal alliances is shown in evidence. Scientific reconstruction of tribal alliances, mutual aid laws are timeless in the time web. The charm of tribal alliances stems from mutual aid ties between families. The formation of the super-large mutual aid network is based on scientific reconstruction from anthropology and archaeology. The process of tribal alliances, the time web motif, quietly unfolds in scientific evidence. The tribe's bridges are built in tribal alliances. Ancient genetics reveals the secrets. Mutual aid tradition lives on in tribal alliances. Archaeological evidence proves it. The evolution of tribal alliances goes from family subtle care to super large alliance. Under scientific reconstruction, tribal alliance mutual aid laws bloom in ancient climate changes. The key node of the super large mutual aid network, the time web motif, runs through it all. The charm of tribal alliances stems from every step of evidence support in scientific reconstruction. The bridge from family to tribe, tribal alliances leave a deep mark in archaeology. The extension of mutual aid networks, scientific reconstruction reveals the grand process of tribal alliances. The process of tribal alliances is based on the fusion of anthropology and climatology. The rise of the super-large mutual aid network, the time web, is woven in scientific evidence. The evolution of tribal alliances stems from the growth of family mutual aid scenes in tribes. Scientific reconstruction of tribal alliances, mutual aid laws remain timeless under the time web.